joined by Bloomberg columnist Michael Lewis. He's also the author of the book, The Big Short, which focuses on the causes of the financial crisis. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Why aren't you in Davos?
Why is anybody in Davos? And they seem to go to Davos to be on Bloomberg News. Couldn't they just come here? So no, I've never been to Davos.
A year ago, the bankers were sort of groveling, weren't they? They were trying to justify their existence, and we were talking about regulation. A year on, there's a bit more of a party atmosphere, it seems, there. Have they already forgotten what happened a couple of years ago?
I think they think that we've forgotten. I think that's what's happened. I think the feeling is, at least in the States, is that the worst is past because the legislation has been passed, and although an awful lot still has to be done on the level of regulation, actually what the rules are and how they're going to be enforced. I think that the big financial institutions feel like they basically won this round. So in barring another crisis, I mean, if radical change couldn't be imposed on the industry after what happened in 2008, my guess is they're thinking it'll never be imposed.
What happens next? I mean, your book, The Big Short, focuses on the crisis and many of the characters that actually made money out of the crisis. They went against the grain. And what happens next? I mean, is the world ready for the next shock?
No, I think, the characters in my book perceived that the incentives inside the financial industry had gotten totally screwed up, that people were able to make vast sums of money, essentially lending money to people who'd never repay it, doing the opposite of what capitalism is supposed to do. Instead of intelligently distributing capital, unintelligently distributing capital. And the incentives in the industry haven't really changed. I mean, there's been some. It's too strong to say nothing's changed. There's certainly a change in the tone of relations between Wall Street and the rest of the world. There's still, I think, a great hostility to this idea that people can get rich screwing up the planet. But because the incentives for individual financial people haven't changed. I assume what you'll see down the road, probably it'll take longer than we can imagine, but is another crisis of this sort. Another situation where essentially the big firms get themselves into a bad position because they've been paid to take stupid risks.
You've written many books, and Lies Poker sort of set the ball rolling, didn't it, about the late 80s, and there's The Big Short now, 20-year difference. In 20 years, I know you'll write lots of books in between, but what will be the sort of the seminal book that you write about the next big event, or is it whether it's bond traders, or what do you think is going to happen in the next 20 years?
I've never been a seer. What I do is write about what's happened. I mean, I didn't see this crisis coming, so I have no idea what's coming down the pike. I will say that what's right under our nose now is that essentially the problems that were created between 2003 and 2008 have not been resolved. A lot of very bad private debt was built up in the system. It's just been shoveled off onto public balance sheets. Yeah. So the crisis it's not. This isn't over.
Yeah.
I think is the main point.
Michael, got to move on, but thanks very much for joining us.